fact. If I ever come across you, bum, I'm knocking you dead spark out. I ain't a YouTuber or a man half your size. I am him, the man. You're a classless loser.
I broke Jake's jaw.
His teeth look a bit removed as well.
Yeah, his teeth have come out of place. But credit to him, he done well. But I told him what was going to happen.
I wish that I could have knocked him out at the start. But as we saw tonight, Jake has spirit.
After Anthony Joshua delivered a dominant sixth-round knockout over Jake Paul, longtime rival Tyson Fury did not stay quiet. Known for his sharp words and strong opinions, Fury used the result not just to recognize Joshua's win, but to reignite their long-running rivalry. He reminded fans that while AJ handled Paul in the ring, the real question still remains: when will Fury and Joshua finally face each other to settle their long-awaited heavyweight showdown?
Fury says he thinks he is, and he wants to put down his Twitter fingers and put on some gloves and come and fight one of the realest fighters out there that will take on any challenge. Step in the ring with me next if you're a real bad boy. Don't do all that talking, AJ this, AJ that.
Joshua's victory, streamed to millions worldwide on Netflix and leading sports headlines, marked a strong return after a 15-month break for the former two-time heavyweight champion. While the win itself sent a clear message, Tyson Fury's reaction before and after the fight added more fuel to their ongoing tension. That rivalry now appears closer than ever to boiling over, with many believing it could finally explode into a mega fight in 2026.
There's nothing's been signed yet, but Tyson, he's indicated that if it's the right deal, he'll definitely do it. So I think it's going in the right, as I just said, going in the right direction, and hopefully we'll get some news pretty soon as to what's going to happen. He's been very good. He's been working very hard the last few months. He's had a lot of projects, including his Netflix series, Meet the Furies, the second series of that. He's got a documentary he's also filming. He's doing a lot of PAs as well, so he's been very, very busy. He's enjoying himself. But he's been in the ring full time. In the gym full time, training very hard, and he's in great nick. He looks well, and I'm sure, and he said on many times himself, he would like to come back and fight again. And 2026, I believe, provided the deal's right, I think you'll see him back in the ring again. If this fight happens, which I believe it will, if it does happen, it will be sometime in late summer. So Tyson, that's another sort of what's at the moment, it's another 7 months away. So he'll certainly have a fight in between, I think, if he comes back. The fans have been asking for this, and everybody's been talking about it for years and years and years. It's better, if it's going to happen now, than rather these guys come back and talk about doing it in 5 or 6 years' time. It's a fight that, anybody who I talk to about boxing, that's the one thing they always mention. When are these two getting it on? Are they ever going to get it on? We never got to see it, etc., etc. It will happen. I think it will happen. And
Ring Magazine wrote, Fury versus Joshua is closer than ever. Anthony Joshua's win over Jake Paul has put him on a direct path toward Tyson Fury. Their rivalry has become one of the biggest storylines in modern heavyweight boxing. For years, fans have demanded that the two British stars finally meet. Promoters have often called it the biggest fight in the sport, one that must happen to settle the long-running debate over who truly rules the heavyweight division.
Fury? I'm not gonna disrespect Fury, Gareth.
I want to fight him though, Jack. We want to see you fight him so much.
Exactly. I think I deserve it, the fans deserve it, you deserve it. It's such a shame that the guy decided to retire. He should grow a backbone. You win some, you lose some.
Do you beat him?
Yeah, definitely.
All day long, yeah?
100%. So do you know what day it is today?
Saturday morning.
What comes after Saturday?
Sunday.
Many people in the boxing world were not fully satisfied with how the Anthony Joshua versus Jake Paul fight played out. Even though Joshua won by 6th-round knockout, critics said the fight never felt truly competitive. Paul spent much of the early rounds moving, clinching, and avoiding exchanges instead of engaging in traditional boxing action. This led to boos from parts of the crowd and online criticism, with some fans calling the fight a circus rather than a real contest.
Such a bad look overall for the sweet science, the sport of boxing, which, cannot get out of its way anyway on a regular basis. What we saw in there, I don't think anyone ultimately looks good. It was theater. It was sloppy. It was gross. It was unnecessary. I'd love to say my favorite sport is better than this, but I think we know that already. I think the bigger question is how much more can the rest of us tolerate the Jake Paul circus?
What was so deflating about this is even though we, in a sense, got the outcome that most people tuning into this fight were here for, which was to see Jake Paul get knocked out, it was the worst version of a Jake Paul knockout loss that we could have asked for. There isn't some sort of highlight reel moments like the Ngannou knockout where Anthony Joshua just...
Joshua openly admitted that his performance was not perfect and said he expected more from himself, especially in the early rounds. He explained that Paul's movement and awkward tactics made it hard to trap him early. However, once Joshua found his distance and timing, he was able to end the fight decisively. Despite the criticism, AJ stressed that his main goal was always to win and do damage when the chance appeared, and the 6th round knockout showed he adjusted as the fight progressed.
His teeth look a bit removed as well.
Yeah, his teeth have come out of place, but credit to him, he done well, but I told him what was going to happen, but it just took 6 rounds to do that.
People will criticise you for going 6 rounds with Jake Paul. How do you feel about that?
I deserve it.
Why? Come on.
Because, like, we're elite fighters. Like, so I put myself in the shoes of a coach. If I was coaching Anthony Joshua and he went 6 rounds with Jake Paul, I would get him back in the gym tomorrow, give him a bit of a beating, and we're getting straight back to work because I'll be like, how are you letting this kid take you 6 rounds? Are you crazy? In boxing, there's a time when you systematically break someone down and you see their soul leaving their body. And after a period of time, 2 things start to happen to them. Either they give up or they get knocked out. And there was a bit of a mix. I said to myself, I'm not gonna knock you out. I am gonna systematically punish you round after round. And like, I wanted it to be slow and methodical. I swear, good man, I dropped down now. And I just kept on hitting him. Sorry, go.
Right, you hit me as much
I
as you like.
hate you for everyone in England, I was hitting him. I kept on hitting him. And I could see, I had that mentality where I was like, remember in the press conference I said, he's Iverson and I'm Jordan? And I was like, I'm gonna just keep breaking him down. Because he was a loose.
Michael Bisping did not describe the fight as a classic boxing match. Instead, his comments focused on the mismatch and concerns about the level of competition. The former UFC champion turned analyst questioned whether Jake Paul would even want to box again after facing someone as experienced and powerful as Anthony Joshua. Bisping highlighted the physical and mental toll such a fight can take, especially on a fighter with limited professional experience. Rather than criticizing Joshua, he warned about the dangers of mismatches and showed respect for Paul's bravery in accepting the fight.
I don't know where to start with this, okay? Was it a classic? Was it a fight that you've definitely got to go and watch? I can't say that it was. Listen, first of all, they both stepped in the ring. They were paid $92 million. They both get to go home to their families, and no one got injured. No one's dead. No one's going to the hospital. They're both fine. Apparently, Jake Paul claims that he's got a broken jaw, spat a little bit of blood out, right? But the fight itself wasn't anything to remember. It really wasn't, right? Anthony Joshua was a little sloppy. He was tentative. He took his time. He said he was trying to break him down, look for the shots, and maybe it's because he'd been out the ring for 15 months, okay, and last went up against Daniel Dubois, or maybe it's because he felt like a bit of a bully going up against Jake Paul, but he didn't seem like he really had.
Former heavyweight champion David Haye shared a respectful view of Jake Paul's performance. Haye recognized that Paul took on an extremely difficult challenge by facing a much bigger and more experienced fighter. He noted that despite the gap in size and experience, Paul used movement and defense to make Joshua work harder than expected. Haye said this showed intelligence and toughness. While Paul did not win, Haye emphasized that lasting into the later rounds and standing up to such a high-level opponent deserved respect.
It was a awkward night, you know. AJ couldn't get to grips with him, obviously. Jake had a really good game plan, moving his feet, lateral movement, slipping and sliding. Obviously been practicing that a lot in sparring, and you got to give him credit. He came out there and gave it a good go, took his licks like a man, didn't complain. You know, fighting a much bigger, more established world-class fighter, so that's usually what happened. What was always going to happen. You know, a lot of people thought he would only last 1 round, 2 rounds, but you know, you got to give Jake credit. You know, he went out there and had a solid game plan and was implementing it at times, was landing shots and was avoiding getting hit with the big shots. You know, but there's a reason we have weight categories in boxing, and I'd say he sticks with, you know, the cruiserweight division where the guys are the same size as him, because that, you know, without having the schooling, the many years, I was able to give away 100 pounds in weight because I've been boxing since I was 10. I was an international amateur and world champion at cruiserweight. That's why I was able to do the big jump and use the tactics that he used to win the heavyweight championship. But credit to him, nothing but respect for Jake Paul for putting on such an event and putting himself in harm's way.
I would imagine some people back home for you are going to say, man, AJ should have gotten out of there in 2 rounds.
No, anyone who understands boxing knows it's very difficult to close the range on someone who doesn't want to hold his feet. And is AJ supposed to just run around swinging and missing? No, he's supposed to wait for the right opportunity, which he did. And once the opportunity presented himself, he landed and the fight was over. But anyone who kind of gives AJ stick because he didn't knock him out.
Former undisputed heavyweight champion Lennox Lewis also gave his reaction to Joshua's 6th-round knockout. Lewis said Paul did not appear fully prepared for such a huge step up in competition. He pointed out that once Joshua's power began to land cleanly, Paul became more passive and was waiting to be hit. Lewis also mentioned Joshua's long time away from the ring, saying AJ needed a few rounds to shake off rust. But once he settled in, Lewis believed the result was unavoidable.